In your headline, sloops continue their descent into TCI waters. Rake and Scrape was reportedly a success. And Minister of Health Honorable Jamel Robinson shared a health update. From the PTV Broadcasting Headquarters in Providencial is your #1 source for news. I'm Erica Pinales, delivering the latest from across the country this Monday, March 28th, 2022, right to your door. Newswatch starts now. In today's top story, sloops continue their descent into TCI waters, costing government millions of dollars in processing and repatriation costs each year. Here's a look at the latest incident. Officials say it was very challenging.
Double trouble for the Marine branch of the Royal Turks and Caicos Islands police force after the interception of 2 vessels within mere hours of each other. Officials say on Saturday, March 26 at around 11 p.m., a small speedboat was intercepted off Bonefish Point and ran aground in shallow waters after the boat's captain chose to challenge the commands of Marine branch officers. As police closed in on the boat, we are told that 12 migrants evacuated the vessel and went aboard the Marine branch's vessel to safety, while an undisclosed number of migrants escaped. No word on how many of them may have made it ashore. However, the boat was recovered the following morning with one lone female aboard who was in need of medical attention. Hours later, at around 6 a.m., officials say another larger vessel was intercepted and brought in with 83 souls aboard. They were processed and detained at the South Dock Detention Center. The commissioner in his statement said, quote, "This was a challenging night for the border protection agencies on the TCI. I must commend our first line of defense, our colleagues in the Coastal Radar Station, who detected both vessels, which allowed the RTCI-PF boats to be able to respond effectively," end quote. Law enforcement say they remain committed to the safety of the people of the TCI, and border control and protection remains a top priority for all entities involved.
Up next, Newswatch got the chance to speak to members of the 100 Black Man International Health and Wellness Committee, where they reveal some very promising upcoming plans. The 100 Black Men is an organization that was started in 1963 in an effort to mentor and take care of the community. Reportedly, the club mentors children where they instill in them the club's 4 principles: mentorship, education, health and wellness, and economic empowerment.
About 7 months ago, we contact the international arm of the 100 Black Men Health and Wellness Committee and ask them if they can help us bring a health and wellness program to the Turks and Caicos, because we notice in Turks and Caicos that our men in general do not take care of themselves, and we have seen so many families have been impacted by the negative effects of men not taking care of themselves. So I think if we're going to take care of our community, we have to start with us men taking care of ourselves. So hence the reason why we, the team of experts from the 100 Black Men Health and Wellness Program came down this week to visit, to look at what we can do, because I think what we want to do is sometime in June, I think we want to start on Father's Day, is to have a big health and wellness program to help men understand the importance of taking care of themselves.
Dr. Eric Griggs, also a member of the 100 Black Men Club, revealed that the idea came from recognizing that much like men in the U.S., men in the Turks and Caicos experience similar issues.
One of the big things is that we know we have to meet men where they are, because we're not going to go to the doctor on our own. So what we intend to do is do a large event that focuses on men, but it encompasses all of the family, the kids, the women, heart attack, diabetes, obesity, cholesterol. They don't discriminate based on gender. They don't discriminate based on age. Childhood obesity is going up in the States, as I understand it is here as well. So we want to celebrate health, and we want to celebrate our men, because we need, well, y'all need us around. So there'll be a number of, we want to have a panel. We'll have a panel with health experts, a cardiovascular surgeon, Dr. Antoine Keller. We'll have other experts on the panel to address the adults. In the meantime, activities for the kids, teaching them about health too, because we know that once you get the attention of kids, you have the attention of the entire family. But most importantly, we want to keep it festive, we want to make it fun, and we want everyone to walk away feeling empowered and smiling.
Sometime in June, the 100 Black Men Club plan to host a grand event which will be open to all to celebrate men and health, also recognizing that the multiple health topics that will be discussed do not discriminate based on age or gender.
So right now we're looking at a date in June, potentially kicking off on Father's Day. What better way to celebrate men and men's health than Father's Day? But making it fun. I'm understanding there might be, our chairman, Dr. Mark Alexander, was talking earlier, there might be some dominoes laying around somewhere. I'll challenge anyone. If you're ready, you get beat by a doctor, I'm with it. I said it. Yeah, we're looking at kicking off on Father's Day and then having sequential events on different islands that week.
Eric explained that the event is one that you will not want to miss, promising a day filled with exciting activities and engaging conversations.
So we are building our health army. Will has brought us in and introduced us to the right people.
Yes. We are collaborating with the Ministry of Health, and they're the ones who will help really spearhead this. We're bringing the resources, and they have boots on the ground, and so we work with them. Since they arrived, we've gone over to North Caicos, Grand Turk. We were supposed to go to South Caicos today, but that didn't happen. But we spent a lot of time on ground just trying to put things in order, so when June comes, we can execute this well and effectively.
Mason explained that although planning the event is not stressful, a lot of work and thought must be put in for a successful execution.
I think one of the things that we keep in mind is that we're doing this for the right purpose. Because if our men aren't healthy, we do not have a country, we do not have a family. So yes, there might be a little bit logistical wise of getting from island to island, there is, but I think with our expertise, we're able to put that together, and we just need everyone's help really to make this a success.
Yeah, Will's definitely made sure that we know this is a work trip. This is not a vacation, and it's a good thing. It's for a good cause. So we're enjoying the work.
As the men remain loyal and committed to what brings them to the Turks and Caicos Islands, Dr. Griggs and his peers who visit us from abroad reveal they still take a few moments to indulge in the beauty of the Turks and Caicos Islands while they're here. Stay tuned for more of this story in a subsequent newscast. Don't go anywhere. More News Watch when we return.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to News Watch. Honorable Jamel Robinson, Minister of Health and Human Services, thanks all health professionals, frontline workers, the various associations, and all those in support roles that have helped to continue with a more manageable caseload, resulting in a level 3 on the CDC health threat listing. Here's more. The various associations, health professionals, and frontline workers have managed to continue with manageable caseload, which has resulted in now being moved back to a level 3 on the CDC health threat listing. Honorable Robinson commended the general public in their role in this coming to pass. He said that while great progress continues to be made and we move closer to returning to normalcy, we are ever mindful that COVID-19 and its variants are still with us. With that said, at a meeting held on March 23, 2022, Cabinet agreed the following. Cabinet approved the extension of existing COVID-19 measures and protocols until April 30th, 2022, and the following amendments. They removed the requirement of obtaining written permission from the Chief Medical Officer or Chief Environmental Health Officer and written approval from the Department of Environment and Coastal Resources for any gathering or social activity, whether private or public, including on public beaches. And finally, they amended quarantine regulations requiring persons to self-isolate for 5 days if they test positive. Also added to the minister's statement was that, just to be clear, the mask and face covering mandate continues to be required indoors and in enclosed spaces. Some entertainment news for you. The annual Rake and Scrape festivities were a hit this weekend, and needless to say, the 2-year hiatus didn't hinder attendance at all. Newswatch has the highlights.
It is back, and attendees say it was better than ever. A full bumper-to-bumper crowd for the 9th annual Rake and Scrape Soca event after a 2-year hiatus. On Saturday, March 26th, the locals said Heavin' Down Rock was the place to be, with boats in tow gearing up to take it to the ocean over to the Twin Island of North Caicos for the biggest Soca event for residents over on that island. For the first time in 2 years, attendees were able to let their hair down as they celebrated the soca and rake and scrape sounds of the TCI. Newswatch got a hold of some footage, and needless to say, the performances were unmatched, with sounds from V6 Band, Provision Band, DJ Space and DJ Bowles, Grandland Band, and Kino with the song of the year, Man-in-Law, a crowd favorite. Attendees say this year's crowd could very well be the biggest crowd that the event has ever seen. And if it isn't far from it. The last Rake and Scrape event was back in 2019, as at the time when event organizers would have been gearing up to host the big event in March of the following year, 2020, schools and businesses began to close as a response to the outbreak of COVID-19, leaving them with no choice but to cancel. Same story for 2021. However, as the country rebounds and persons try to return to some sense of normalcy, organizers decided to take the leap, and of course, it was a huge success.
Don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Coming up next is your weather forecast.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Here's the latest in your weather forecast. Here's your weather forecast for March 29th, 2022. For the nation's capital, Grand Turk, on Tuesday, partly cloudy skies, high 79, low 74, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For South Caicos, mostly sunny skies, high 79, low 74, winds northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. For North and Middle Caicos, partly cloudy skies, high 80, low 74, winds northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. For Parrot and Pine Key, mostly sunny skies, high 80, low 74, winds northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. And on Providenciales, mostly sunny skies, high 80, low 74, winds northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Now for your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise 6:46 a.m., sunset 7:04 p.m., and for your high tides and low tides, high tide 6:22 a.m., 6:48 p.m., and low tides 12:03 a.m., 12:39 p.m. And that's it for your weather forecast. We'll be right back with more Newswatch.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future.
I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
Welcome back to Newswatch. The Department of Fisheries and Marine Resources Management is reminding the public that the 2021 to 2022 crawfish or lobster season will be closed as of Thursday, March 31st, 2022.
The Fisheries Protection Ordinance Amendment Regulation 3.1 states, crawfish means the spiny lobster, the slipper lobster, the smooth-tailed lobster, the spotted lobster or crayfish, or the species Panulurus argus, or Panulurus guatus, or silurides. The Fisheries Protection Ordinance Amendment Regulation 12.1 states that the closed season in relation to crawfish shall be the period from the 1st day of April to the 31st day of July in each year, or such other dates as may from time to time be appointed by the Governor in the Gazette. During the closed season, any person who fishes for, purchases, or is in possession of a lobster will be committing an offense that is punishable by a fine of $5,000 or 6 months imprisonment, or both. The FMRM is urging all fishers, restaurant owners, private residents, and plant owners to ensure that no lobster remains in their possession as of Thursday, March 31st, 2022.
The RSPB, known as the largest nature conservation charity in the UK, is partnering with the Turks and Caicos National Trust to celebrate the success of an ongoing project. We bring you the details.
The RSPB, a nature conservation charity based in the UK, who have been on a mission to give nature a home since 1889, has partnered with the National Trust to celebrate an ongoing project.
Today we're gathering as the Iguana Islands Partnership here in Turks and Caicos to celebrate some of the successes of this long-term project that's been going on since 2014, working to protect the unique iguana here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. So this is the partnership between the Turks and Caicos National Trust, free government departments, so the Department of Agriculture, the DECR, and the Environmental Health Department, private islands, so Pine Key and Big Ambrose Key, and also international NGOs, so San Diego Zoo, and of course the RSPB.
Sarah Havery, the Senior Species Recovery Officer at the RSPB, revealed to Newswatch that the RSPB and National Trust have a long-standing relationship of over 20 years.
The way we work is we support the Trust with achieving their ambitions and their priorities. And of course, for the Trust, clear priorities for them are the heritage sites, so Little Water Key and Little Ambrose Key, which are both heritage sites for the National Trust. And also supporting work around Heaving Down Rock and Half Moon Bay as well, as part of the wider partnership.
Havery explained that the organizations are celebrating a number of successes, one of them being removing feral cats from Pine Key, which posed a threat to the rock iguanas.
Little Water Key is so important because it holds one of the largest populations of rock iguanas left in the world, and they were under threat from feral cats and also rodents. The feral cats were removed in 2019 and basically that's been successful. So we're trying to celebrate that legacy and make sure that cats do not get back to that island chain, and also working to actually make sure that the rodents are not impacting the iguana population as well by suppressing them through long-term control programs.
Another aspect they highlighted was the impact of green iguanas. Newswatch was informed that green iguanas do not belong in the Turks and Caicos Islands. However, there's been an increasing number of sightings.
They're not like your endemic iguanas. They breed fast, they impact infrastructure, and they're going to threaten your important wildlife that you have here in the Turks and Caicos, including your native iguana. So we're actually going to be hearing today from Jane Hokinson from the Cayman Islands government, so they're from their Department of Environment, who's going to tell us their story about their challenges with green iguanas, where the population has exploded to over 1 million, and they've spent over $7 million having to control this species. And we do not need that here in the Turks and Caicos. So we're talking a lot about kind of the impacts invasive species can have, and then the importance of biosecurity. So preventing invasive species from arriving here in the Turks and Caicos in the first place, and then preventing them from being moved around the different islands actually here in the Turks and Caicos.
Stay tuned for more of this story in a subsequent newscast.
That brings us to the end of this edition of The Real News. I hate to leave you so soon, but of course, you can join us right back here every weekday at 6:30 p.m. and tap into our social media platforms at www.ptv8tci.com. I'm Erica Pinales, keeping you informed, updated, and affiliated. Until next time.